So the next stage is that we have to cut the lenses, and this is the lens cutter. So we put this is the shape that we just created earlier on from the original lens that came out of the frame, and that just fits on. It's quite firm, but that will go on there, and that will provide the shape that we need. We then need to attach. We're going to start with the left lens, and this is why we mark these up N, and I've marked that up N, so that we make sure that the lens is facing the right way. It's very important to do that, because you can get confused and you end up sort of putting the lens in upside down. So you've got to really think. And so that now is in, the lens is in, and we just tighten that up so that that's held in nice and secure. So you've got the shape, which is facing, the nose is facing down, and we've got the end facing down, so we know that the lenses are in the right orientation. We now need to cut the lens. So you turn the machine on first, and then we lower the lens onto the machine. Right, so once it's finished cutting the lens, you then undo the clamp and remove it. So now we have to do the other lens. So that you can see is the lens cut. That's the original, one that we took out of the frame at the beginning, and they're a pretty reasonable match, so that's really good. So now we need to cut the other lens. So we have to turn that around as we're doing the other lens. We do the same with this, so it's now facing, everything's facing in the right direction. So we're going to do the same again. We're just going to cut that, and that should be absolutely fine. You can see that it does it without too much mess. And it does it reasonably quickly. It just takes really about a minute or so. Even less than a minute to cut the lens. That's it. We turn it off. We'll take it off and then turn it off. And there we have the right lens is now cut. That one worked nicely, and we've got both the right lens and the left lens. So now we're going to have to put the groove onto the lenses. To do that, we need to take the blocks off. So we use, this is a D-blocker pair of pliers, and we can just remove the block there and remove that one as well. So now you've got both the lenses are ready to put on the groover. We can just double check at this stage to make sure that the lens is a pretty good fit, and it seems that once it's been, the groove has been put on, it looks like it's going to fit quite nicely into the frame. So the next step is to put the groove onto the lens. So to do that, we're going to you don't need to worry too much about it being totally central. You literally just grab the lens with the clamps. Now we do need a little bit of water for this, just to make sure that there's a little bit of water just to help the cutting process work well. This determines the depth of the groove. It should alter the height that this sits on there. So we're going to keep it to about 4 for now, and then these two grab the lens when it comes down. So what I would normally do, position the lens like that so it's held in there, and just press this one and let it go round, and then just make sure that the groove is fitting in the center of the lens. This is a very thin lens, so we have to be a little bit careful, and there will be times when it stops, so you need to just help it by taking some of the weight off, and I think that that's looking good. So I would then put a little bit of water on there again, and then this time we're going to turn it round, and we're going to so you can see how quickly that's put the groove into the lens. Now I'm just going to, it's actually put the groove a little bit too far to the left, but we're going to try it anyway, and just that's fine. I think there was a part of the lens where it just hadn't cut it properly. So we've now got a lens which has got the groove in, and that hopefully will fit nicely into the frame, and it does. What you need to do now very quickly is to put the safety bevel on, which is what this machine is for here. And again, you want it to go around only once, because it will deform the lens otherwise. So turn it round, and I would just keep a finger on it so it doesn't get too heavy on there. I would just do it exactly like that, and that just takes the sharpness off the edge, so that we end up with a nice safe lens. We'll then put the lens in to the frame, and hopefully it will fit like that. Okay, so that's a reasonable fit, and we're going to do the other lens now. So we've got that lens in there, so this is the left lens that we're going to do. So we do the same again. We put the lens into the clamp, bring it over, and then I'm just going to let it do a couple of circuits. I think that it's wanting to put the groove too close to the back surface, so I'm going to just use this to bring, I'm moving this that way a little bit so that it's actually pushing the groove further to the front. So this will take a little bit of experience. You just need to do it a few times, and I think that that's in a good position now. So that has put the groove nicely in the center of the lens. So I'm happy with that. We're going to do the same on here. We're going to put a bit of water on there, and then very quickly just let it go around once and then take it off. That's it. And that way you've got a nice lens. It's already safety beveled. You've got a nice groove in there. This is a thicker lens, so they're a little bit easier to glaze. You take that lens out. Normally I would use the nylon just to thread it through and pull it out, but after a bit of practice you can do it without doing that. Okay, so we get the ribbon, and we can then stretch the nylon. This is why this system is a lot better. It's because you can stretch the nylon. There's a little bit more room for error, and there we have your glasses. Now the distance between these two lines should match the PD, which should be 62 millimeters or thereabouts. Remember that we decentered the lenses, so we've got there, and it's actually It's about 61. So, but that's very good. I mean, that doesn't matter too much. 1 millimeter is fine. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to clean the lenses, and then we're going to see what the prescription is to make sure that it's accurate to what we wanted. So to clean the lens, I use a little bit of methylated spirits or something like that, and that will get rid of the ink marks. And just dry that off. And then we're going to, I'm just going to measure it on the automatic lens meter just to see how accurate we were able to do that. So this is an automatic lens meter, and you know, you probably won't find too many of these in Africa, certainly not in the rural areas, but I'm just going to use this so that just to show you. It also demonstrates the different components of the lens quite nicely. You've got the sphere, the sill, and the axis there on the screen. So I'm going to put this is the right lens, and I'm just going to put that on. And so when you get that nice sharp, you know it's in the right place. And let's look at the prescription there. +125, -1, axis 45. Absolutely spot on. That's exactly what we wanted according to the prescription that we started with. So the right lens we know is absolutely correct. And now we look at the left lens. Actually, what we can do, just to show you, is we can actually hold that, and then we go to the left lens, clamp it down, and we can check the power there, which is, we'll get it nice and level. This platform behind just keeps it nice and level. And we've got there +275, -075, axis is about 172. So, and we asked for 173. So we're 1 degree out on the left lens, which is pretty good. And the prescription is absolutely spot on. So there, we've done it. We've made up a pair of glasses. And the process takes about, I suppose, 10 or 15 minutes. And they're very accurate.